And action.
Hey!
Yo!
Woo, woo, woo,
Hey-o.
woo, 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 woo. All right, so today it's Plopcast number 7. Is that right? We're up to number 7?
Number 7.
Is that our new intro music, by the way?
I wish.
This is
they're
going to
into
stop
that.
soon before the YouTube realizes
before they
that
figure it
it's
out.
copyrighted.
So today we're going to have
It's
Comic
not
Book Girl
copyrighted.
19, as always. I'm here. And as well, we have Captain Kirk
Heyo.
and T-Bone. And we're going to talk about lots of movies and comics today.
That's right. How many times am I going to do that? So Kirk just dropped some huge news on us that we were not aware of.
Yeah.
That happened last
He
week.
was on his way out, and we were talking, and he told us about a new
Conan the Barbarian movie?
Yeah.
What?
Now, I think they inked this deal like a month ago.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And he's old Conan.
Old Conan.
Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And he's playing
Back
age-appropriate Conan.
So
They're taking one of the books from the end of the series where he's King
shocked.
Conan, and he's in his 60s, and now people are starting to question whether he's strong enough to protect his...
Right.
his people and his village and his land, and maybe this is the time to strike, and this is the time to overthrow Conan.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And if I remember from reading the book, it is also one of the most brutal
Well,
books in the series.
speaking of brutal,
but
looking over here.
Start telling all the cool stuff that's going on with this flick.
Yeah, Paul Verhoeven.
That's what really got me excited. Because
Yeah.
If you don't know who that is, he directed
RoboCop.
as well as Total Recall, and
Starship Troopers?
Yes.
so I mean,
It's that director.
so if he's doing it,
This is
I'm
like-
excited.
Yeah,
One of the biggest Arnold Schwarzenegger 80s directors coming back.
Yeah,
totally.
This could be awesome.
No, I'm excited for it.
I have a lot of hope for this.
And
I like the fact that it's not a revamp.
Yeah.
It's not a reboot.
Exactly.
It's not.
It's
Right.
just
And
the
I'm not
next-
excited. Like, I did not really love the new remake version.
with MoMA.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
Momo.
Well, I just feel like
It's
they
good
should have
and bad.
made a Khal Drogo movie instead of that.
Well, it obviously didn't launch a whole new trilogy or anything.
No, well, a Khal Drogo movie would have done much better in the box
Um,
office. Just saying.
It had that ridiculous ending where they were fighting on that thing that was falling through a tunnel and
Right, and the director was a
Yeah.
brand new director, never directed anything else in his life, like whatever.
wasn't horrible overall, but whatever. But
Yeah, but forget that, because
Yeah.
this is way cooler.
It's
Yeah.
it's weird because it's like we rebooted a franchise, but now we're like saying the reboot didn't happen and going back to the original.
Totally.
Yeah,
That's it.
30
enough.
years later.
fair enough. I
reprising
hope
the
that's
role.
what happens
I
with
wonder if
RoboCop.
30 years in the making,
Yeah.
more like.
Right.
Yeah, I hope that happens with RoboCop, where they're like, this new one sucks so bad that they end up just making another one, Peter Weller, later.
That would be awesome too.
Yeah.
So he's just like a super awesome, sleek suit and just like old Peter Weller
Yes,
face.
old Peter Weller face.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. But see, I want him to hook up to the internet and like start chasing bad guys through the internet.
So
or something.
maybe since
Like he's like the lawnmower man
yeah,
of RoboCop.
Yeah.
there needs to be a new word for this type of movie doing when it's not a reboot, but you're going back to the original.
Yeah.
Oh
trilogy.
yeah, like a
It's a
Unreboot.
we're gonna call it an oopsie daisy.
an unboot.
An oopsie daisy.
Yeah. Oopsie daisy.
I like that.
Anyway, I'm
That's
excited
exciting,
about
though.
this.
That's
so.
exciting.
Which, by the way, do you think
That's
the new
cool.
RoboCop film is gonna have at any point a character that goes "bitches leave"?
If they don't, that's it. They're not going to. They're not going to.
No, it's going to be a completely different
Bitches
tone.
leave. I was seriously, I don't know why. I was thinking about that particular scene last night when I was laying in bed, and I was laughing about it, and I thought it was really funny. Like, specifically the point where he says, bitches leave. Like, it's like, that's just perfect. The way it just sums everything up.
So
like,
one of the things it says here is that very much they're doing this because Game of Thrones is big now, fantasy is big.
Yeah.
Yes. Arnold says he's psyched about it.
Of course he is. He's
the role is
knows
for-
how
I wonder
to
if
use
he's
the
gonna
word
get-
psyched. Cool.
I wonder if he's
does.
going to get buff for this again.
I mean,
He's still kind of a big dude for his
Isn't
age.
Sylvester Stallone? Well, I don't know. Have you seen some of those Governor Beach shots? where
Oh.
yeah.
he's
I mean,
gotten out of shape.
I don't want to
Well-
admit that I Google searched it.
I don't
but
know.
I did.
Yeah, no, well, he's got to get on the HGH and shit, man.
Right.
He's got to be starting doing some serious shit.
Stallone can just hand him some pills on Expendable 3 and he'll be
Yeah.
right in shape.
But, if they had him wearing a suit, though, like, if they had, like, a whole suit where he's covered up and he's not shirtless, I mean...
I don't know that
I
would be
think that'd
necessary. What I'm
fine.
saying is I think he can just...
I bet you he's
Pop
gonna
right back.
watch,
Well, I'm sure
watch this guy
he'll-
bulk up.
Yeah,
Watch
he'll
him-
bulk up. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll bulk up, for sure.
I mean, he did it for Terminator 3. You know, he suddenly got right back to the same size he was.
Was he right back?
Yeah.
though?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was creepy.
He didn't have the abs,
Right.
but they didn't cut that low.
Oh,
So,
those jelly.
but he got the pecs right back.
Okay, well that's good. Pecs are
Yeah.
fun.
That's so weird.
As a lady, I must say I appreciate
It's
pecs.
just- I mean, don't worry. I'm still really stoked about this. I think it's a great idea, but like, is this really happening? Like, is the fantasy genre really starting to come back? Because I talked about this a while ago. Because remember when Conan first came out? That's when we had all the fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
We had Star Wars. We had Beastmaster. We had Krull.
Yeah.
We had
Krull.
all that cool fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Is it
Willow?
Willow?
Yeah.
Totally, all of that. Is
We
that
just
starting to-
watched Willow and did a commentary on it the
Yeah,
other
it was
day.
like so much fun.
And I loved it.
It
I
held
was
up.
expecting
It
to be
completely
dated.
held
It
up.
didn't feel dated to
completely
me.
held
But
up.
Mad Mortigan? Come on, Val
Yes.
Kilmer
Yeah.
is awesome.
No, he was awesome. He
But
was awesome.
I think that's a
Are
movie
we-
people should go back and...
Do we get to have this cool moment where like all the fantasy stuff is coming back again?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yes. No, that's the thing. Like I've noticed that a lot of genre fiction is really taking off. You know, superhero stuff is really big right now.
Totally.
You got your fantasy stuff going on right now. You have sci-fi trying to make a comeback, even though they're not quite doing sci-fi. It's more action, like fake sci-fi.
Right.
But they're, but it's like there.
Action in space.
It's there.
Yeah.
And but the only thing that's like, it's really weird is that they don't, like, horror isn't making a comeback at all. Like, all the other genre
Have blown
fictions are
up.
blowing up, except for horror, I feel like. But horror's, I don't know, horror's a mess right now. They really got to get it together.
Well, I think the reboot thing hit them so hard and so badly. I mean,
well, it's like horror has now become the last bastion of smaller budget filmmaking.
right.
You know?
Like those Insidious films got made for
Yeah.
like no money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what, $500,000 budgets and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I mean-
all like, yeah, it's very...
Anyway,
very
I'm
simple.
guessing that this is a 2015 or 16 movie. I don't see here.
It's I would say
Comes to theaters in
2015.
2014.
14?
The Legend of Conan comes to theaters in 2014.
Well, probably like December, November 2014.
Yeah, we'll get the very end of it. But I mean, I think that's
Okay.
what he's doing after Expendables.
Well, good for him.
3.
I'm excited. I'm okay with this.
Awesome.
Be cool.
All right.
And we're back!
And
Hey!
we're back. And
All right.
we're back. So let's start off with movies today.
Yeah,
Let's talk
okay,
about
so,
movies today.
well, let's get a little overview of all we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it all.
Alright, so we're going to talk about the weekend box office.
Okay.
Alright, which Kick-Ass 2 came out along with Elysium and Butler and some other things. And then we're going to talk about Kick-Ass 2 more,
Yeah.
which didn't do very well at the box office.
Right.
And then after that, we'll talk about comics, and we're going to talk about superhero comics in Marvel and DC, and some non-superhero
Some
comics,
creator owned.
And we were under strict
like Ghosted, East of West, and Killjoys over there.
Killjoys out there. I put that in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And we're under
Yeah.
strict instructions to actually mention the issue number this time.
Yeah, sorry
We'll
guys.
try.
We're working
We'll
on it. I'm like 3 or 4 beers deep though, so.
And
I'll
there will
try.
be some spoilers, but we'll try to warn you along the way.
Fuck you, spoilers. Yeah, there's gonna be spoilers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone should be reading everything that's on the shelf.
Yes.
To be up to date.
Ever.
Yes, ever. No.
That might be the beer.
I'll let you know when there's gonna be super spoilers.
Okay,
So.
let's talk about the box office this weekend.
all
do
right.
it.
Because what week are we on? It is August 15th.
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
even
it's
know
August
what,
19th.
I don't even know what day it is anymore.
So this weekend, Kick-Ass 2 came out, and we have to do a review video of that probably.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we probably won't even get around to that for another month because
Oh
we're
god,
so
I
behind.
know it'll take a million years. But
But the number one movie was The Butler, which I didn't even know existed. Do you know what that is?
I think it's.
I really don't.
I heard that it's going to be an Oscar contender, but I don't know.
It's an
got
Oprah
Oprah.
Winfrey movie.
Oh,
Oprah's
is
in
that
it.
the one?
Oprah's in it.
I have not
Forrest
seen a
Whitaker.
single ad for
No,
this.
no, is it Terrence Howard or Forrest Whitaker?
Forrest Whitaker.
Okay.
Now it's starting to.
Because isn't
okay,
Terrence
now I'm
Howard
starting
in a
to-
movie with Oprah as well, though?
Is that Color of Money?
I don't know.
No,
No,
or,
a new
the-
one. A new one. I don't know.
The Color Purple.
So The Butler made
Well,
25
that-
million
yeah.
in its opening weekend, and it beat out Elysium, which only made 13 million in its
Yeah.
second weekend. And then also We're the Millers,
Oh, that's that shitty comedy movie.
right? Made
It's-
17 million.
what,
And then
Jennifer
Kick-Ass
Aniston?
2.
Yeah, yeah.
Kick-Ass 2 came in number 4, I guess.
Wait,
Yeah.
on its
With
first
only
week.
Only 13.5 million.
Ow.
But it
not
only
very
cost how
good.
much to make?
It costs 28 million to make.
Like, okay, so that's like,
It's still
that's like half the budget, though.
it's not hot. Nobody's
Well, it's not
number
hot, but I
4.
mean, it's still not overseas. It's still not DVD or Blu-ray sales and shit like that. It'll make its money back. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but I feel like I saw a lot of Kick-Ass 2 advertisements, and I saw no The Butler advertisement. I'm just surprised. that-
Well, I think people are just really fatigued
Well,
from superhero stuff. I think
I
people
agree.
don't care.
That's what I was getting
People
at.
want to go
think-
see The Butler instead.
I think this once again proves that nothing beats Oprah Winfrey. Like, nothing.
Yeah, she's a
Beats
Powerhouse.
Yeah, that may be
I
a
wouldn't want
factor.
to
I
tangle
guess.
with her, man.
No.
That may be a factor.
Oprah's gnarly.
But what people were saying is that this is extending a streak of underperforming sequels in the last whole month.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolverine being one of them. It hasn't done.
Are
as
they
well
calling?
as
They're calling
expected.
that a sequel, aren't they?
But again,
Yeah.
it's like I don't think it's. I mean, yeah, they're underperforming, but I think
Ever
it's just because
since-
people are tired.
Ever since Man of Steel, everything's been bombing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many times did the world almost end this summer?
Just so much, dude. So much. Like I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
And again, but it's
But we talked about that on last podcast, and I guess we're just extending this conversation
Well,
over.
you know, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's fine.
it's just
Yeah.
it's summer movies, you know. But I enjoyed Kick-Ass 2. Kirk didn't see it. You didn't see it yet.
I read
You're
the comic.
slacking. He's read the
I'm a little
comic
behind.
though.
And you didn't get to see Elysium either because the theater froze
Because
up.
my
on-
theater, I finally had an afternoon off to go see Elysium,
Mm-hmm.
and because I go by myself, and yes, it's because I don't have a girlfriend, but I
Hear
also
that,
just,
ladies?
I just prefer
Yeah.
to not. I don't go see movies like that with people.
Right.
Like I want my fucking pretzel. I want my ginormous soda that's going to destroy
Yeah.
my bladder.
Yeah.
And I really do want to try to find that spot in the theater where I've got a buffer where there's no one around me.
Yeah.
Like I just like to zone out by myself to go see a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that moment, sat down, sure enough, because I go to this little theater that no one knows about that has like big blockbuster
Yeah.
films playing.
Yeah.
Had the theater all to myself and like 3 other people.
And then
And then the credits started to roll. And then the digital
so you
projector
didn't even
died.
get to see any
Nope.
of it. That sucks. Well, I mean, maybe not because then you didn't get halfway through and then
Yeah, at least
you
it
know.
happened very beginning.
I hate it when that happens.
I'm guessing that because a lot of projectors
That's why I
are
go to the
digital.
ArcLight, my friend.
And I love the ArcLight too. don't get me
I'm
wrong.
guessing because a lot of projectors are digital now, as opposed to like analog film. Like when the film used to burn up or something, which that's happened to everybody in our life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. That happened to me with Little
But they always
Nicky.
seem to fix it and patch it back together.
Yeah.
But I think with the digital projector, it's
They
like a
can't do
computer
that.
crashing. So they
Yeah,
can't-
it's like they have to call the IT guy to figure it
yeah.
out.
So
Right.
they just have to give you your money back. Is that what happened?
Yeah, like well, I didn't even give me my money back. They
Yeah.
gave me a pass for a free movie,
Yeah.
That's
which
good.
is very lonely. Like when you go see the movie by yourself, I'm like, and here's your one free pass.
Well, then you just
Here you
need
go,
to
sir.
go see Elysium and then sneak into Kick-Ass 2 after that.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
And you need
do.
to hurry before they're out of theaters.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
They're not making any money.
Which, by the way, when the film burns, do you remember Gremlins 2? Mm-hmm. I was so young when I saw Gremlins 2, and like Hulk Hogan
Did they
shows
do it?
up. They did it in the middle of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
In the
joke
theaters, and like Hulk Hogan shows up, and the Gremlins are like screwing around with the camera guy.
Yeah.
Like, I,
forgot
just
about
want to
that.
let you know, I totally fell for it when I was a kid. Totally felt. Me and like 4 friends were like, Hulk Hogan's in the theater and he's going to save our lives from the Gremlins. That's awesome. All right, fun story.
No, that's like when we did the computer crash clip
Oh,
in
yeah.
one of our videos.
Yeah.
With the blue screen of death come up.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
So
freaked
if you're
out.
full screen, you like freak out for a second.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
It's great. I'm going to do that again at some point just to mess with people.
But yeah, I enjoyed.
Let's talk about Kick-Ass 2 a little bit.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, let's go.
Without spoiling it at all.
Okay.
And, how did you feel about it?
I enjoyed the first one, and I felt like this one really picked up where the first one left off, and I think that was very similar. It stayed with a lot of the same tones and everything, and I liked it. I thought it was fun. I liked it much better than the comic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I liked it. I was not
thought
expecting to like
You
it.
thought that it was like, you were a little taken aback by it, though.
No, but I mean, before I went in, let me explain how I felt going in.
Okay.
Is that I was nervous that I wasn't going to like it, especially because Matthew Vaughn wasn't returning.
Right.
Director.
True that.
But I was surprised how it felt like it just picked up from where it was before, and it was like the same tone. I was surprised how much the tone matched.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Is it one of those
Same
things?
type of comedy.
Is it one of those things when you go into it, like, you don't feel like any time has passed?
Yeah,
since
exactly.
When you walk out of the theater
Except
from
for
part
Hit
one?
Girl being so much
Well,
older.
yeah.
Well,
except
yeah.
for having
Only-
like boobs now a little bit,
Yeah.
but they toned him down really good.
But
The boobs have been
movie,
toned down for the film.
The movie's not making very good reviews. It's only got a 28%
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomatoes. But I kind of...
28?
Yeah, 28.
That's it?
Really?
But then it has like a 76% with viewers.
Okay, all right.
Which is always
Well,
a big
this
difference.
is my thing. Is like, if you like, did you not see the first one? Like, what did you expect going into
Well,
it?
I'm not
Reviewers,
that shocked by it
critics?
because the movie is so dark and violent and bloody.
But so's the first one.
It's kind of shocking, and I think for movie critics always come from the perspective where it's like they kind of feel like a movie needs to be socially responsible to a degree.
Yeah, fuck
Okay.
that. I mean, I get that to a point, but at the same time, it's like everything's been so fucking socially responsible because they want to get the widest audience in, and it's so refreshing for me to see a movie that will make some people uncomfortable, that some people won't like, and they're not pandering to every single person
That's true.
in the planet, and I appreciate
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
Because so many big movies are just similar to each other.
Yeah, well, they're
Doing the same
formulaic. It's just a formula they plug and play, and
they play it safe with a lot of times.
they play really safe, and this one didn't. And I can see why some people wouldn't like it. I could understand that, and I'm okay with that. Like, if you don't like it, then it's not for you. That's okay. I'm glad to have a movie that isn't for everyone for once.
And this is a little weird because you were talking about the advertising. I feel the same way. I feel like the advertising for Kick-Ass 2 has been all over the place.
Yeah.
And especially when Jim Carrey came out and said, like, I'm not going to promote this flick because of the violence, and I made a mistake being in it.
Yeah,
like,
but
and he was so good in it too, by the way.
He was unrecognizable in the preview. Someone had to go, that's Jim Carrey.
Yeah, and he was so good in the movie.
Yeah, he's good in the movie.
I hear
but they were saying that him saying that was actually good advertising.
Oh, it's probably the best advertising could have
it could have been planned. I mean,
who knows?
But I also feel like it may have... You could say conspiracy on that.
Okay.
You could say that... the
wouldn't put it
filmmakers
past
were
them.
like, no, this movie's so dark and, abrasive.
And
we
we
need
need
to
to
have
warn
someone
people.
come out and say, like, stay away from this if you are easily
And why
offended.
not we? And why don't we get the nice, lighthearted, super funny Jim Carrey who's in the film?
Yeah.
Just to give that
and
message.
I wouldn't put it past him.
You know,
But I think that the thing that's funny to
conspiracies.
me though is that it's so dark. It is so much lighter than the comic. It is so much lighter.
it is,
than the
but
comic.
99% of people aren't going to realize that.
But I mean, it's just like they really toned it down a lot, and like.
If you haven't seen the movie, just know that there are some things in it that are very sad in comparison to what you would expect in a comedy.
But like I said,
because the movie's a comedy.
Totally.
Right. Well, it's a comedy film about what would happen in real life if you just tried to be a
Right, but
superhero.
most people, I see comments saying like, "Oh, it's a movie about what would happen in reality. It's about reality in real life."
It's
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy
first.
about that.
And it takes these serious things lightheartedly and makes it look fun.
Right.
In the end, that's what I think is conflicting with a lot of people. Is they're like, there's this big sense of fun, and how much fun would it be to be a superhero? That's the overwhelming thing you feel.
And by the
but
way,
then it's so dark and realistic.
anybody who lost the idea, the concept that the movie's called Kick Ass,
and it's going to be offensive, and they're
Yeah.
Well, I heard too that they in the original one of the promos they were putting out trailers. There's a part where Hit Girl tells him, she's like, "Take your tampon out, Dave," and then they ended up changing it later because
it's so funny that you mentioned that because all
Really?
the earlier stuff was Red Band, and at one point on Facebook and Twitter, the motherfucker had taken over the accounts.
Oh, I
so
heard
they were
about
putting
that.
like all the raunch in the previews. And it felt like as we got closer to the release, they started pulling the Red Band stuff and putting in like the more edited, safe for TV material.
Yeah, it's a little just too much.
A little weird.
I don't know. Me personally, like, I watch a lot of horror movies. I like a lot of gore. I was not offended by anything that happened in the film. I wasn't upset by anything. Nothing sticks out in my mind that I'm like, oh, that really bothered me. I know for you, like, you're not as into weird fucking awfulness as I am.
No. I appreciate it for being different, for sure. I just know that mainstream audiences are not going to know whether or not to be offended or to laugh. Yeah. And they're going to feel uncomfortable about that.
Right.
See, I like being offended and laughing at the same time.
Well,
hey,
then it's a perfect movie for you. Go see it.
It's for me. Yeah, it was definitely.
It's worth seeing if you want to see something different, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And now, and the last thing we need to talk about, Digital Blood. Did it happen?
There's a lot of digital blood.
But you know what? Going back, I realized that the digital blood is probably a good thing for making the movie seem not so violent.
What rating does it have? Does it have a PG-13?
I think it might be PG-13.
Yeah, that's probably why they have digital blood.
But it's amazing if it is. Maybe it's not. We need to find that out.
Yeah.
Because if it's rated PG-13, then the rating system does not work.
I will say this. My favorite scene, spoilers. There's like a lawnmower coming through a car, getting awesome. It was so good. Mother Russia, like the Mother Russia scene where she just starts killing cops.
Yeah, that was an epic
was
scene.
So
was really
fucking
cool.
awesome. And then you have these two like other guys who are on the same team, and they're just watching her, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Oh, they're like, "She's worth every penny," because before
she's worth every penny.
She tells them that she's $50,000 a week, like she's getting paid out, and they're like, "She's worth every penny."
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Spoilers off.
So funny.
Let's not give away too much.
God, that was funny. I don't care what anyone says. And you know what I appreciate about the film is, and these are these fucking critics. Oh, I'm a critic, but you didn't even read the fucking source material, so why don't you go fuck yourself?
So that's required.
Well, no, I just feel like I try to read a lot of the source material, even like Ender's Game. Like I just read the fucking book for that. Like I read the fucking books.
That's good.
Oh, you know what, guys? This is an R-rated sequel.
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
Fuck
good.
yeah. Good
There
for an
we go.
R-rated movie. Thank God there's
I'm
an
happy to
R-rated
hear
movie
that.
this summer. But the thing is like, you know, I love that, especially with the motherfucker, the character of the motherfucker. They purposefully took the same beats from the comic, but then switched them and did a 180 to where instead of having him just do awful, awful things, they always turn it into something comical. And I thought that was a really fun way of saying, like, you know, they kind of poked fun at Mark Miller's writing,
right.
you know, and they were just like, you
because
know,
in the comic, every scene would
they
be awful.
acknowledge it. Yeah,
Like
they
most awful thing that
acknowledge
could
how
happen.
awful the writing is in their comic, and then they, you know, make a point to let you know that we're not going to do that in the
And maybe
movie.
not so much that the writing is awful,
Well,
but
just
that
the
the content
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
that what they're getting to is awful.
There's a fun part too where fucking Dave's wearing a "I hate reboots" shirt
Nice.
and stuff. It's like it had a lot of fun commentaries in it. Like
Okay.
it had a lot of fun little attention to details. So
Yeah, I would like to see it again and see how I feel about it.
I liked it. I don't have any problems with it.
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen it yet.
Good.
But I read the comic, and now that I hear that it's kind of a little bit more lighthearted, but at the same time, some of the material
But
made
it
in.
yeah.
It's interesting.
No,
Okay.
I'd love to hear your take on it.
Yeah, challenging for mainstream audience, but for a comic book audience, you're going to like it.
For people
Yeah.
who are familiar with the
Okay, anyway, let's move on to comic books.
You want to do Elysium at all? Do you want to talk
Talk
about
about Elysium.
it? Just for a second.
Oh, Kirk hasn't seen it.
Yeah, it's
Well,
okay. That's all right.
All I'm
Go.
gonna say
Go.
about Elysium is that I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it the same amount that I enjoyed District 9, where it's like it's fun in a lot of ways, but it's so like kind of depressing in some ways, like the social commentary that's going on, where it's kind of like, like that's kind of sucks.
I didn't see it as necessarily depressing.
Well, it
because
just
it's
wasn't
so...
a fun reality to be in.
No,
like, I enjoyed being
yeah.
in a fun reality,
Well,
and it
that's
wasn't
true.
a fun reality.
You're right. It's not a fun reality if you believe it is.
But
100%
Matt
being
Damon
real.
did good.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster was terrible. The director, Neil Blomkamp, and you said that you were reading an article where he was like, I don't know if I'm a director.
You're throwing too much at me right now.
Sorry.
Go back to what was the first topic you were bringing up? Because I was about to say something.
What was it? was
Neil
I saying?
Blomkamp.
I was saying the reality.
Yeah, the reality of the movie.
You were saying it was the overpopulation thing you were going to say?
So the reality of the movie is really exaggerated to the point that it's almost a comedy in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 99% is living on Earth, and everything is a
a
slum.
shithole.
It makes the entire Earth like everyone is a gang member on Earth.
Yeah.
Really?
It's really funny. They all speak Spanish on
Yeah,
Earth. and then,
well, no, in LA, it's a set in LA, so it's like
Okay.
well, you're right. You don't
Spanish.
technically see the whole Earth, but they imply with the wide shots of Earth, everything's a brown
I've
continent.
really thought about.
They imply that the entire Earth is a slum.
Well, I really
Oh,
thought
so
about
there's like
learning
really
Spanish
cool
for the future.
like away shots of Earth, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, and there's no green at all. It's just it looks like everything is a desert and
ooh.
looks
Yeah.
all like Somalia.
Yeah.
And
Box houses,
and Elysium is the
slums.
only place they have grass and trees and stuff.
Yeah.
And in Elysium, they speak French and they're all educated and nice and fancy.
You know, they have these little medical pods that fit
It's like a
Solid
nice
med pods.
wine and cheese party everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is a wine and cheese.
So it's
party.
almost a comedy in how exaggerated it is. And I was like, my feeling was they could have made a comedy out of this. It could have been kind of like RoboCop is a comedy.
right. Yeah, it
You
has
could have
comical
treated it the
moments,
same way,
yeah.
and I think more people would have accepted it because that
Yeah,
from
I
the
feel-
complaints I've read.
No, that's my complaint because it's like it's such a depressing future that it would be better if it was like lightened with a comedy tone to it.
Yeah.
But Matt Damon, like I said, Matt Damon's doing a really great job. I liked his stuff. There's a guy with a really weird Mexican accent that's like really over the top and it's kind of distracting.
Well, speaking of over top,
What? Jodie Foster?
Jodie Foster.
Oh my god, dude, she fucked up so
Yeah,
bad.
I
She's
can't
the
wait till you
worst
see
one in the
this.
whole movie. She's the worst one in the whole movie. And
Jodie
it's, like,
Foster.
Jodie
Is
Foster
the one
is
where-
doing this. Is it a French accent?
I don't
What is she
know.
doing?
It's like this hoity-toity.
It feels like
know.
inconsistent.
But it just doesn't work. It is. It's inconsistent. It goes in and out. It's really weird.
The whole time you're like, well, I know how Jodie Foster sounds in real life. Just talk normal.
Exactly, because
Yeah,
like she's kind of
yeah.
got like that cadence that's very just
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
would have been
Exactly.
fine to just stick with that. And that's where the directing comes in. The director, Neil Blomkamp, should have been like, stop with that.
Somebody
It's
should have said this is not working. Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
what he was saying. He was acknowledging in that article that he doesn't know. He's more of a visionary. He has ideas for stories, but he
Right.
doesn't know if he's
He comes
really
from a visual
director
effects
of actors.
background,
Okay.
an artistic background.
Which
And-
I felt that.
Right, in the article I was reading about him, he was saying, the type of artist that I am, we tend to want to sit with headphones on and just draw and be to ourselves. So you're not necessarily as good as a director who's like
with
a big
other
show.
People.
Yeah. Work with other people and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's what he's learning. But he's a young guy, and I think he's learning. I think he's getting better. And
well, he just needs
the
to
movie's not
have.
perfect.
He needs to have like another director to help him with actors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody.
That's not a bad thing to do. You see a lot of people that do have a co-director.
Yeah.
They need to like sit there and go, okay, you've got the vision.
Right.
What was wrong with this scene?
that's-
You need to go back
Absolutely.
and watch that.
And that's exactly his deal. I mean, he was really great with the broad strokes, where it's like the story ideas, the concepts, all this stuff. He was really good
world
with
building.
He was really good with the small strokes, like the really tiny, like details and
like the
fun
guns
little,
and weapons.
Yeah, fun little weird things, and he had a lot of fun with like
the technology
and and all this good stuff. But the middle is missing, where it's like character development, like the
basic
acting,
scene. Yeah, I was saying that I feel like he would really struggle with just a normal scene at a table conversation. If he was directing the scene we're having right now,
right,
he wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, he would be like, we gotta have the camera fly around and have some crazy angle or something to make it work.
Yeah.
Oh, which gets to the other thing that we need to talk about is the directing style.
Yeah.
I feel like was problematic. Pause.
Oh.
We had one more thing to say about Elysium as far as the directing style goes. That I felt like it was directed almost too visually handed.
Okay.
Almost everything is like a fancy shot. There's a lot of stylized stuff going on, which is not dissimilar to Michael Bay. Not nearly as bad as Michael Bay. Not really like that, but
a dark, depressing Mad Max version of Michael Bay.
Well, what I mean is just that it's just fanciful, and it's presenting every scene, and every scene feels about it like it's more about the next scene. It's like just moving along at this vicious pace. It's like a montage.
Yeah.
I wish that it would just settle down and be there. I want every scene to be there. And
did it have the breakneck speed that like Children of Men had, where every scene is intense, kind of moving into the next one?
It's a little exhausting, kind of.
I
wouldn't
didn't feel exhausting.
It's as exhausting as Children of Men, but
it's well done.
Yeah.
It's well done and it's effective. It's just not as good as it could have been if you just stopped and was there for a minute.
Just take a moment to be in the moment.
I felt like
be in the moment. Be in the moment. Wow. I don't like movies that are like that, and I wish that they would stop doing that so much.
Yeah. They had like one moment like that with Matt Damon's character, but then after that,
which scene?
The plant scene when he's at the plant and things go wrong at the.
You're right.
That scene was that was the best scene in the film in my opinion, and that was when they were
scene.
just in it, and then the rest of the film they didn't really.
Well, that's interesting point then.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Let's go to comics then.
All right.
Comics time.
Talk about some comic books.
All right.
Comics.
So we're gonna start with Big Two comics, and then we're gonna, I guess, go on to favorite-owned.
All right. What are you most excited about this week?
Well,
I'm gonna let Danica take that one first.
I'm talking about Thor.
There's a whole lot of Thor going on.
Oh my god, I'm so sad.
Should I leave the room?
I think that both of you should leave the room for just put some earmuffs on because they have not read this.
And I've said before, I wanted to wait until the entire trade came out.
And it's
So
it's
what
done.
What issue are you on?
It's issue number 11. It's the conclusion to GodBomb. I think there are 3 arcs. I think it's like the God Butcher, and then there's GodBomb, and there might be another one in between. I'm not entirely sure.
So if you are not caught up on Thor, we're gonna do a whole episode. About
this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's episode worthy.
Oh hell yes!
Yeah.
All right.
When we get back, it's episode worthy.
Otherwise, skip ahead to the next title if you don't know.
Yeah, but
All right, spoilers on.
Okay, so do you guys want to go? Put some
I'm just gonna walk over here and get another beer. Well,
are you sure? Because it's pretty fucking
I'm
sweet.
gonna
And I
pretend
don't want to
I'm
ruin
not
it
listening,
for
but I'm just way back here.
Okay.
Just pretend I'm not in the room, but just say whatever you want.
Okay, all right,
fine.
guys.
Yeah.
I haven't had anyone to talk to about this, so I'm really excited because I don't know anyone who's reading it. And okay, so it's the very end, and the bomb is like going off, and they're like freaking out, and they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And there's the 3 Thors, and then the now Thor, he goes into the bomb, and he like takes like the bomb into himself, and all these gods across all these different times of like, because that's the thing about the God Bomb, it'll kill every god through every time, future,
Not
past,
listening
present.
to a word you're saying at all.
And he doesn't know anything. And then fucking Thor has 2 Mjolnirs, and like all the other gods are dying, and they're like, they all pray to Thor, and they're like praying to Thor, and he becomes the god of gods, and he takes the fucking fucking sweet black shit that Gore's been using into himself and fucking has 2 Mjolnirs. It was so awesome. It was so cool. It was just like fucking kicks ass, and it was like the best thing ever, and it was like so much fun. And somebody on Twitter, I tweeted about it, I was like, oh my god, Thor was so good. And someone's like, yeah, but it feels like one of those stories that's like not gonna really be in continuity because, you know, whatever. And that's true. I mean, I don't disagree with that. It is one of those stories that's like its own story, but I like that. I'm okay with it being its own story, you know? Like, it was so worth telling. It's so worth telling, and it was so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. So, fuck you, read God of Thunder, Thor.
You should talk about Jason Aaron, even though I had absolutely no idea what you were talking about.
Jason Aaron is the writer of this amazing Thor book, and he just killed it. He killed it, and the art was so good with Esad, what's his name? Esad Ribic, and then I don't fucking know. I'll mess it up. Svorkosina. I don't fucking know. But it was just so good. Like, Jason Aaron, man, like, slow clap.
I'm back, but yeah,
you know?
Jason Aaron has knocked it out of the park with just about every title he's pick up right now.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's okay. Come back now.
I guess we're all allowed back in the room.
Everyone's allowed. Earmuffs are
scary.
off. Earmuffs are off. Fuck, it was so cool. So, yeah.
Really good?
Yeah, really good, man. Thor, I mean, the conclusion was just as good.
I'm pretty sure, like, the trade will be out within the next week or two.
I mean, it should
so
be.
Everything,
and this is the conclusion is issue number 11. So it's like...
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then I guess they're going to keep going with it. And then the next one is Earthbound and Down, where this Thor goes back to Midgard, which is Earth, for those people who don't know.
So basically what you're saying is you recommend Thor for everyone.
Yes.
And everything.
In
all
every
ages.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's really good. But even then, it's not that. It's good.
All right,
That's
moving
awesome.
on.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's see here. Let's
Talk about some X-Men.
Yeah, let's do some Uncanny
X-Men.
X-Men.
What X-Men titles are you still reading?
Well, I read Uncanny X-Men,
Okay.
Adjectiveless X-Men, which is
Brian Wood.
just X-Men. I read Wolverine and the X-Men. And
Yes.
I think is that it? Is that all?
Well, I mean, those are the X.
Oh
we're
no,
just talking
Uncanny X-Force. I'm reading
and
Uncanny
there's still
X-Force.
all new X-Men.
Yeah. Oh, and all new X-Men. That's what it was.
I'm sorry, but we really do love the X-Men.
Fuck.
The whole everything they've done with Bendis taking over and some of the new titles.
Why aren't you talking about Wolverine and the X-Men today?
I'm not caught up on it yet because I want to see how the story arc ends.
There's been some fun things going on with the
Yeah.
Hellfire Club, though. It's still not completely ended, though, either.
Yeah, but we talk about it almost every
stuff.
week now. That I want to see where the Hellfire Club,
Yeah.
the end of that story. Then we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Okay, fair
All
enough.
right.
All right.
'Cause I'm sure people want to know.
But Uncanny
X-Men.
X-Men, I just love the
So
artist,
good.
Fraser Irving. Man, I love this weird, like, really heavy color palettes.
And
Like,
especially after the whole Dormammu and
Mhm.
Magic storyline,
Mhm.
I thought maybe he was going to be done.
right, I thought so too.
But
And
he's not.
back. He's back, and I love it, and I'm so excited that he's back. I want him to stay on as much as he can, because I really love it.
His art's been really great.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Like, there was a little moment between Scott and Emma where...
Oh, by the way, what issue is that?
10.
Ah!
We're
Issue
on
10.
Yeah, there's a really good moment between Scott and Emma where, like, she's like, you know, he's like, how are you today, Emma? And she's like, don't. Like, fuck off, you know? And, like, he's like, what? You know, and they had a fun little... And it's just a very small moment. There's also a really fun thing with Magneto and Maria Hill where she's like...
That's what I wanted to talk about.
I'm done with you. I don't trust you, Magneto. You know, you fucking came to me. Like, fuck you. All this stuff.
It's a horrible double cross.
Yeah. And so she's like, so from now on, you need to talk to my mutant liaison, Dazzler.
And it's Dazzler.
She's like, hi. Like, and he's just like, fuck. Like, so now Eric has to deal with Dazzler, you know.
Good. He deserves it.
I think so, though. I'm
Yeah,
okay
I
with
hope
it.
Dazzler puts him in his place.
This art is very cinematic. It looks great. The colors.
Oh, yeah.
man.
So much fun.
I love these faces that he does here.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of different characters.
A 2-page spread of a mutant.
It's a strange type of art style where, on first glance, you feel like maybe it's a bit slapdash.
Right.
Like, it's not necessarily a whole lot of attention to detail.
Yeah.
But then you start taking a closer look at it,
And you're like,
there's a
"Man."
crap ton of detail.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good way to say it.
You
yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting how he's been able to
do both.
I'd love to see
A lot
his
of
process.
a lot of ugly people in here too.
Yeah, no,
which is
I like
good
that
because
too.
ugly people are in real life.
Yeah, hey,
yeah,
you know,
no,
not everyone
everybody
has to be a
is
good-looking drawing.
beautiful, and I'd really love to see his process though. I'd love to see this artist's process. But yeah, Uncanny X-Men doing good. All new X-Men doing good.
Still doing great.
Anything that Bendis is writing.
I had fun because Bendis, about two issues ago on All New, brought on one of his Ultimate Spider-Man artists for a filler issue, and it worked so great.
Oh, that was the one
Sarah
where
Pichelli, I
the
wanna
one
say?
where the one where Cyclops and Iceman go out in the town.
Yeah.
The younger ones.
Yeah.
They go meet girls
At the
and
carnival,
yeah,
and they're
then-
trying to impress the
and
girls.
then Beast is yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was a collaboration that he had with Ultimate Spider-Man team back when they restarted Ultimate Spider-Man. Not with Miles Morales. This was still with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And I love when those two work together because she really has a great...
No, I liked it because that's the
Yeah.
thing too. They've been doing Stuart Eminem has been doing all of them, all of them, and this is I think one of the first ones that it hasn't been him, but I didn't hate it. You know, because usually you're like, oh,
filler issue, but no, he's still using his same team from Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, it was really good, really good.
Okay,
There's Uncanny X-Force.
Uncanny,
which is taking a weird turn, but
it's a weird turn. I love this.
I'm on the fence about it.
What's happening?
Well, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we got going right now is
And
that
what issue is this?
This is issue number 9 of Uncanny.
Issue number 9.
The cover, first off, is awesome.
I like the cover a lot.
It's Psylocke getting an awesome back piece done with
like traditional Japanese Phantom X.
There's like
triple Phantom X,
like wind bars in there, and it's really cool. Just great.
It's a good cover.
Yeah, that is that. I was just admiring that too.
It's a really good cover.
But
speaking from someone who used to tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shh, I don't do that anymore.
But you're retired.
I
think if you just announced you were retired, people would stop asking you for tattoos.
Yeah, I guess.
Publicly.
Well, I do tell people I'm retired, and they still ask me.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But the whole title, we still haven't really seen X-Force come together as a team yet.
Yeah, I know.
Which is a little weird and frustrating.
I know, and it's like, where the fuck? Like, Spiral. You're not going to dangle Spiral in front of me and then not fucking do anything with her.
So they got away from that storyline. What we have is a dangling thread from when Remender was still on the title.
Yeah, with the Phantom X, Psylocke, hookup, love connection.
So at the end of Remender's run, Phantom X was recreated. All 3 brains got their own body. Yes, Phantom X had 3 brains.
Yes.
But so we have good Phantom X, then we have Lady Phantom X.
Right, Cluster.
And then we have super baddie evil Phantom X.
What's the evil Phantom X's name?
I don't know. I just like
He's in black, though.
I think they're just calling him Weapon 13.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
He's
Weapon 13, that's what he is. And all 3 of them are in love with Psylocke.
Yeah. Yeah. But Phantom X and Cluster, goodish Phantom X and female Phantom X are really in love with themselves.
Yeah, they do it all the time together.
So they basically have sex and do it a lot.
Yeah, and then they bring in Psylocke because they both want to love on her.
That's hot.
It is.
No, Psylocke is definitely for real having a relationship with Cluster in this. Like, they're doing it. Like, for the chick Phantom X.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she is in, like, she didn't have any say in it.
Right.
But she is in a love triangle.
I just really like that opening panel where they both have the same mask on in bed together. So that's really nice.
Well, but you understand, like, they're a clone of each other.
Yeah.
They're literally in love with themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're banging your clone.
Well, it's like, I love that. Okay,
that's awesome.
So, Cyclops gets with Cluster. They're having some good old fun times together.
She told me she would bang her clone if she had one.
Of course. Of course.
Which begs the question, if you bang your clone, is it now technically just masturbation?
I think so.
Technically.
I think it's fine.
Technically.
I think that if you didn't bang your clone, you'd be, even girl or guy, you'd be doing yourself a disservice.
Technically.
But so she's with Cluster. Cluster's like, he loves you, but the thing is, she's apologetic about the good Phantom X that whatever. She's always apologizing for him, like, I got the love and he didn't, but he still is into you. Like,
right.
but then Cyclops is like, fuck him, he can stay outside while we do our fun business, And that's good. Hey. And then evil Phantom X comes with Weapon 13. And he steals Psylocke away, and then they start having some fucking dates and shit. And,
there's a whole lot of issues being worked out right now. And it's even worse when your ex-lover gets cloned into 3 different bodies, because now you got 3 different sets of issues to deal with the ex.
Yeah.
You literally have 3 X's to deal with all at the same time.
All the time, and they're
Yeah.
all crazy.
Yeah.
Like they're all out of their minds. But it's like I'm really on the fence about it because I like a lot of the ideas.
Right.
I don't know if I love the execution on everything. You know, I feel like it could be executed a little more interestingly or a little better. But
Much to Sam Humphrey's, I think it really needs to be pointed out. Following Remender's run,
dude, that's
hard.
Like,
That's what I was about to
that's
ask.
a
Like,
hard
are you
act to
saying it's
follow.
not as good in comparison to other X-Force or all the
It's
comics?
definitely not Remender
It's
run
not Remender's run.
status.
Yeah,
But
okay.
but it's taking its own tone. It's taking its own. It's doing its own thing.
Right.
But I don't know. It's still not completely. I don't know. I feel
It's
like
not.
it's
He's
half-baked.
almost there. He's
Yeah.
almost there.
Yeah. That's
It's not there yet.
It's-
I still think he's trying to figure out his own voice in the series.
Yeah, definitely.
And having to deal
Definitely.
with like the dangling threads from Remender's run might be part of how to wrap it up and make it his own.
Yeah, but I
So.
want to see more Spiral, man.
Who doesn't want to see more Spiral?
I'm a little
She's
disappointed on the
badass.
Spiral front, you know. And then there's the Demon Bear thing, and I don't understand how that works. And the Demon Bear is now within Psylocke, and what does that mean?
It's
like
just more
exactly, and
about
what is the Demon
fandoms
Bear?
at this point.
And then there's the Revenant thing going on, which I don't care about
Right.
particularly. Like that's like what? Like Bishop stuff is like I don't know. Bishop's always
Just
fucking.
buy the issue for the hot kinky Psylocke and Phantom X on Phantom X on Phantom X action.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need. So we got that was
So,
Uncanny X-Force number 9.
Yeah.
So what else are we on to?
So let's go to Infinity.
Ugh.
Okay,
we
I've
have
got some
to-
questions about this Infinity thing.
Okay.
Hold on, can I take,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I take
Go
a
ahead.
break?
Oh, break? Okay, sure.
Need a break?
I've been drinking a lot of beers.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back, and now we're going to talk about this Infinity thing that's going on
Ugh.
in Marvel.
Infinity. So it's the
I'm
new
confused. What happened to
You
Age of
and
Ultron?
Everybody else.
dude. Okay, so Infinity's the new
Giant crossover?
giant crossover, but it's only crossing over with Avengers and New Avengers.
Right.
So there's gonna be 6 Infinity issues, but then there's also like a few Avengers issues and a few New Avengers issues that you also could get if you wanted.
So what happened to Age of
supplement.
Ultron?
Well, actually, 2 separate things. We'll get to Age of Ultron in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what happened. Remember we were talking, a few episodes ago, how I was trying to read all the Hickman Avengers stuff?
Yeah.
And I was getting really frustrated.
Right.
Because I had no... I mean, I really did feel lost. I felt like I was an idiot reading these comics. Turns out all of this, everything with Thanos Rising and the Illuminati and the Avengers
Right.
and all the new Avengers stuff that Hickman's been doing is all connected and culminating to Infinity.
Okay.
Problem
By
is
the
that
way,
some people,
The
like myself...
the Illuminati, if you don't know,
Right.
is like all the big time players that have all kind of formed up. Like you have Doctor Strange, Namor,
Right.
Black Panther, Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, Beast, Iron Man. Black Swan, whoever the fuck that is.
Yeah, and at one time, all of them were also keepers of at least one piece of the
the Infinity
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. Yeah, they each had an Infinity Gem.
Right.
Which I guess they don't now or something. I don't know.
And once again, they had to
I
bring the
can't keep
gems
up with
together,
these
and then they
goddamn-
got separated.
Can't
but
keep up with these gems.
The frustrating thing is that with, like I said, all this stuff that Hickman was doing, and what it was
Right.
all leading up to,
Mhm.
I stopped reading that stuff. I
Yeah.
really did. And so now
Yeah.
that I'm reading this title, and I realize that there are... Oh,
There are
crap.
Cosmic Gardeners, the Engineers.
Yeah, all
They
these...
make an appearance.
new characters and grand schemes and huge ideas
Yeah,
that he has had that he has implemented into the Marvel universe.
right.
I actually have to go
yeah,
back and
they're
read this
they're
shit.
bringing in the Space Knights. They got the Avengers. They have the Inhumans. A few X-Men are going to be in this. The Illuminati people are going to be in this, and Hickman's new people, the Builders, who are
Right.
like Cosmic Gardeners, like a Prometheus type situation.
Exactly.
Except instead of just starting life,
Prometheus-y, isn't it?
they'll
A little too much.
extinguish it, though. These guys will go one step further, and if you're not going in the right way, they will, extinguish your race and start
Yeah, like
over.
all the storyline
guess.
with Ex Nihilo and the Night Mask and the new Star Brand
Right.
and who else?
I know.
God, he brought so many new characters in just to make this
I
story
know, and
happen.
Abyss, and yeah.
That I'm lost. I'm
Or
over
would you say
freaking
that that's
whelmed.
a little bit of Lovecraft stuff getting in there?
What?
Well-
no, this is a no. I
mean,
mean,
It would have been cool to have a Cthulhu. It would have been cool.
I'd be okay with it,
But-
it's-
Anyway, all right, broad strokes.
Okay.
Those
I
are the
Well,
can't.
details.
okay,
I can't
so-
tell you the broad strokes.
Well, so I read Infinity, And I mean, you can get it. There's some things that you are going to be like, what? But you can kind of piece it together if you kind of have an idea. It's a little annoying, but okay. But they do have like a Chitauri guy, you know, from like, the Avengers movie, so they're bringing in that guy. Although he looks way cooler in this than he did in the Avengers.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy looks pretty nuts. But I mean, you can follow it. I mean, it's shaped like okay, you know. The whole deal is. So the Gardener, there's some swath of some path of destruction going on through the universe. The Gardeners are killing a bunch of people. Apparently Earth is within that path.
Right.
The Avengers are like, we gotta take the fight to them because if they get here before,
it's already too late.
It's already too late. But because they've done that, then, like, you know, Thanos is like, oh, well, Earth is unguarded because the Avengers are gone. Which, by the way, Thanos, I don't know if you ever heard of the fucking X-Men, but they're still there.
They're still pretty...
But whatever.
There's some guys that can go toe-to-toe, no offense.
Yeah. But, so that's kind of the setup of this whole thing. So,
and this is going to be the new big Marvel thing.
Yeah, I guess.
And I mean, God, and here's the thing why... I'm going to do something kind of bad here. I'm going to cross the streams for a second.
Don't ever cross the streams.
We're crossing the streams. Hickman and Marvel, and then the Hickman that I'm reading in East of West.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
So, how much fun and more concise is East of West?
You know, honestly, when I look forward to East of West.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, that's out. Now, I started reading the Hickman Avengers. I quit.
And it feels like a chore when every new issue comes out.
Yeah, I quit. And then the Infinity I picked up, and I felt like in between. I was like,
okay,
it's not East of West, but it's not as annoying as the Avengers thing was for me, necessarily. Like, I could piece it together.
And you fell off sooner before I did.
Yeah, I did.
And I went for like another 2 or 3 months, and I just...
frustrating. I like the idea of an ex-Nihilo and the idea of an Abyss, but and I love Captain Universe. I think Captain Universe is really cool. But,
totally. But we could have maybe figured out a more streamlined way to tell the story.
So, let me ask you some questions about Age of Ultron, because I did not read Age of Ultron because I stated earlier it is supposedly a separate continuity, and I was just like, I don't want to get into that, you know. I'm not a big Ultimates, and that's what I hear.
Right.
So if they're doing Age of Ultron for the new Avengers movie, what the fuck does that mean?
Age of Ultron and the Avengers and Age of Ultron, what I just read, are probably not going to have anything in common besides the name of the...
Right.
It's just the name alone.
Okay, so it's just merely to sell comics, even though it has nothing to do with the comic. Okay.
Or is it really?
Here's the thing. Does anyone remember when the New 52 started and we had the Flashpoint, and it was the new continuity for DC?
Right.
Age of Ultron is thinly disguised as a new Flashpoint for the Marvel Universe. Very, very, very thinly disguised.
But the thing is, I'm reading Marvel Universe, and it's not affecting me.
It's going to.
I don't want it to.
So when we were talking last week about Angela showing up in Guardians of the Galaxy, and some changes happening in the Marvel Universe, basically what's going to happen at the end of Age of Ultron, Book 10, and spoilers, basically what Iron Man was talking about with Wolverine, that he keeps bouncing back and forth in the time stream. He keeps screwing with it to try to set things right over and over and over again. He broke it. And now there's threads in reality in the different multiverse. Yeah, of course. But now there's all these problems.
Right.
And that's why Angela got jilted from another universe into the Marvel Universe from Image. And
to slap McFarlane in the face.
Pretty much. That's what Wolverine did. And at the very end of Age of Ultron, here's Miles Morales from... He's the Ultimate Spider-Man.
I thought he died. Did he not die?
No, he's still alive.
Okay, I thought he died at some
he's
point.
still alive and being awesome.
Okay.
But the final page is Miles Morales, and the clouds open up, and sure enough, it's the Marvel 616 Galactus, and he's been thrown into the Ultimate Marvel Universe.
And if he's in the Ultimate Universe, then he can totally eat Earth because it's not the same Earth that he told them that he would eat.
He has no obligations to the Fantastic Four.
Right.
Or Reed Richards.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's dating back how long ago?
Okay,
a while.
It's a standing rule.
It's a standing rule.
It's a bro understanding they have.
Yeah. Come on, dude, don't eat Earth. Alright, bro, I guess I won't, but I'm still tempted.
So Age of Ultron really was a self-enclosed
storyline didn't really affect the rest of the Marvel Universe, but now it is because the new Diamond solicitations are starting to show up.
Yeah.
It looks like Marvel's getting ready to nix the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
Which is a shame because 10 years ago they had so much potential for that line.
Yeah.
Brian Wood has been writing Ultimate X-Men and brought like a new, fresh voice to that.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, the Ultimates hasn't been that great. That's been kind of weak.
Yeah.
The only reason I care about the Ultimate Universe is for Miles Morales and that Spider-Man.
X Factor isn't in the Ultimate Universe. Okay, but they're just
ending that series.
Well, here's a Nubler question then. So if they end this Ultimates universe, could they just start a whole new other alternate
probably
universe?
will
could
eventually.
Do some really crazy stuff, like, I don't know, make Wolverine a girl. Not that you want to do that, but
Well, they already
Hey,
did. X-23.
X-23.
Yeah.
But they did kill off Wolverine in the Ultimate Universe, and now it's his kid, Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Jimmy Howlett.
Jimmy?
Little Jimmy Howlett.
I didn't know about Jimmy.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to the Ultimates as much as I should.
That's probably why they're getting ready to get rid of the...
that's true. That makes
So,
sense.
the big deal is that they're probably going to bring Miles Morales Spider-Man into the regular Marvel Universe.
But what are they... Okay, so if they're making a movie, though, Age of Ultron movie, I don't think that they can have Hank Pym because he's an... wait, I heard that they're not going to have Hank Pym.
I don't think Hank Pym's going to be in it.
So
at all.
how is it Age of Ultron?
I don't think Age of Ultron, the Avengers...
What?
I don't think Avengers 2 is going to have anything to do
Okay.
with what we've just read over the last 10 minutes.
Okay, that's weird. I mean...
Like I said, it's only a name alone.
Okay.
But do you really think that they are trying to get people into the comics by, announcing the movie title is tied into something happening now in comics?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Because
Okay.
they just finished up with Age of Ultron, and they're going to be having the fucking trade paperbacks come out, so people are going to start reading that shit. But the thing
I think that's kind of cool though if they're doing that because it makes everything more topical and more like it's tied together. It's like a hot book that's out now.
But the thing is, I'm not reading Age of Ultron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's not something that I would direct people to.
Well, it might not.
Like, direct the masses to Age of Ultron. Like, I don't know, it's kind of depressing. It's
point being is
in
that
its own fucking universe.
Comic books could be bigger than they are, and they could be... certain things could be just as hot as, say, like when the girl with the dragon tattoo comes out in the movie and the book blows up because of that.
Right.
It could do the same thing.
Ooh,
And then this could all just be horrible speculation, and everything that they've said about, the Avengers sequel could be just a giant red herring. You know what? It's
Who
not
knows?
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Thanos is really going to be in it.
Right, because that's what I was saying, too.
Yeah.
They were setting up Thanos, and then they're doing Age of Ultron, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
like,
I think Thanos is now going to be more of a Guardians of the Galaxy flick enemy. I know.
What?
I know. We're still trying to piece the pieces together.
Okay.
And I'm sure we'll hear about it in the comments section.
Yeah.
Don't worry, people
Everyone
can
knows
correct
better
us.
than everyone.
Well,
That's okay.
by the time this video gets out to most people, they'll already know well in advance of us.
Okay.
Because most people watch this video like 3 months later.
Yeah, it's true. they find us like going backwards.
Yeah.
Hello,
Oh, I
so
didn't
it's
know that.
December right now for you guys.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So Age of Ultron was it was a strange storytelling adventure.
Yeah.
But essentially what they're doing is they're bringing in the other universes from Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah. Is MODOK in this?
Hell yeah.
Is he, like, on their side, or is he on the bad side?
He's on the bad side.
Just make him be a good guy.
You really want MODOK to be a good guy,
I
don't you?
do. I think that he'd be really funny if you made him into a good guy, because it's like he's been beaten down so many times. It's like, make him a good guy now, and nobody wants to hang out with him, and you have this funny...
He'd be like Toad and Wolverine and the
Yeah,
X-Men.
exactly. And I love that, because they did such a good job with Toad.
Hey.
Alright, well, let's go to the DC side of things.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
hear about Batman. What's Batman up to?
Alright, so we're doing year zero. Or zero
year.
Sorry, year 0 year. Which is kind of a play off of year one, which was Mazzucchelli and... Who wrote it?
Frank Miller, yeah.
Frank. Was it? No. He did Dark Knight Returns. He didn't do
I think he
year
did.
one.
I think he did year one also.
Did he? I'm
Guys,
so
we've been
bad.
drinking.
So this is Batman number 25.
Batman 25.
Yeah. And this 0 year is all about before he when he's
He's becoming and toying with the idea of.
right.
He hasn't decided
But
he's
the thing
Batman
is-
yet, but
the thing
he's
is-
going to do something.
Doesn't it like bounce kind of back and forth a little bit?
A little bit.
Because that kind of confuses me. I feel like a little confused when that happens sometimes. When I'm like, wait.
But-
Oh,
and here's
yeah.
the funny part: they're bouncing back and forth, but it's still bouncing back and forth in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
There's two different.
Right.
past
right.
storylines
And yeah,
being
you
told.
have the Red Hood stuff happening.
Right.
And then there's like this part where, you know, Red Hood like invades his house and he's trying to walk away, and then, you know, but there's like these, I don't know, the storytelling was a little weird for me in issue number 23. I was a little confused by some of the storytelling going on, because then he's like, oh, Father, help me, and then he has this little ball, and then the ball turns the room into a cave thing, and then it explodes.
And it turns out that it's
and
like
then
another
like,
part of Wayne Manor they didn't know about.
And you're like, what?
And then that's the whole thing with the
then-
bat coming in, and I'm going to become a bat.
I don't know. I just felt like the storytelling was a little, I don't know. I wasn't quite following it as well as I should have.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe
Well, it's hard because if you're a long-time comic book reader, you think you already know the origin story, so why the hell am I reading this?
Let me show you what I'm getting confused on.
Oh,
so,
it was Frank Miller, by the way.
It was Frank
And you
Miller.
were absolutely right about Mazzucchelli.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well
got
played.
that one. I got
Nice.
that one. I'm more of an artist person.
Okay.
I know more artists better than writers sometimes. So he's like, oh, he's here. Oh, I'm getting beat up. But then
Right.
it shows him here when he's like blue background, and then he's like,
Right.
oh, I'm back in the house. But then he's outside. So it's like inside, outside, inside, outside, and then it shows later. Okay, inside, inside, and it's just outside, inside.
Right.
Where he's like in the thing. It's like, wait, where the fuck is he? Like, I don't know where the fuck he is. Like, I was having.
That's interesting.
I was having a hard time with that one. I was like, wait, am I?
So they don't show you the actual linear, like, escape from
I don't
the
know.
firebomb.
I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. I read a lot of comics, so it's like sometimes I get a little
boggled
weird.
around a
Like,
little bit.
Yeah. But
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't
Boggled around.
know. You just read so many comics, they all blend together sometimes, and you get all weird. And like, I read a bunch. I'll marathon it. And I read a bunch.
I watch
in a
you
row,
reading
and,
comic books, and you just jump from topic to topic. It's like,
yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
I get a little weird. Sometimes I feel like I'm reading too many comics and that I should really start curating my shit a lot better. But maybe not. I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
I will say this, the art has been really good.
Yes.
And like I said, I think this is still where the slow burn to wait for the big finish for this. Because I really am, I'm so confident in Scott Snyder that it's just...
Well, I love the DC too. They were gonna do that What the Fuck month. in April.
yeah.
So that didn't turn out well.
No.
So now they're trying Villains Month, where they're doing all these 52
jeez.
different one shots of villains stories. That it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, come on, guys. But I will say, I'm gonna give DC a compliment because I talk shit on them all the time.
Right.
I'm gonna give DC a compliment. They do have a really cool thing right now going on with like, oh, here's the classics, and they show all these superheroes like reading all these other comics that are like the classic
I
comics.
saw those.
The
Those are
essentials?
cool.
Yeah, the
Essentials.
Yeah, the essentials, and they have like a little card that you can take at the comic book store. It's like check off which essentials that you've read, and not everything on there is an essential, but a lot of it is.
Right.
Like a lot of it, I was like, yeah, you should read that.
By the way, upcoming topics on the show, we are going to do some essential comics. We're going to do some episodes about those.
Oh yeah, evergreen
Yeah.
topics. You know, things you should read.
Coming up.
Absolutely.
If you want to impress your friends at a party, a comic book nerd party.
And if you know where those parties are, can you invite us?
Yeah, we'll show up. We'll drink all your beer and we'll talk about.
And we'll talk about comics all day.
Night. Well, let's see. Let's just touch on Batman Little Gotham.
I think you should. I think it's adorable.
I mean, it's still really cute, and it's so weird though because in Batman Little Gotham, Damian is still alive, and Oracle is still Oracle and is in the chair.
It still took a bullet from the
Still
Joker.
in the chair, which I love. Which
Okay.
I think, why would you take your one handicapped character out of a chair? It doesn't make any sense.
I loved her.
But they had a really fun Cinco de Mayo story where Katana makes all these tacos for everybody, and it's really cute, and like I liked it. It's really fun. This is a good one for all ages, and I just love the watercoloring going on. It's Batman Little Gotham.
And I do like that. I do like the fact that
It's
the
number
best way to
5.
take out the
Number
bad
5.
guys is to make tacos so they all get really tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like,
And there's almost
and
like...
Damien passes out too because he eats too many tacos.
Oh,
as
and
well.
like, I mean, look the way they've drawn Mr. Freeze.
Oh
Is like,
my god, they have a really cute Mr. Freeze. Like the way
that's
they
almost
draw him.
kind of sad.
Yeah, they let him out of jail, and and everyone's really nice to him when he gets out of Arkham, and so because everyone's so nice in Gotham, he decides to freeze the whole city because everyone's so nice. So he wants to freeze it for Nora,
okay.
or whatever. And then
That's so adorable, but
but
so sad at the same time. Look at that.
I know, it's really cute.
Oh, you cute
And I
jerks.
just love the chibis and what. Oh yeah, and somebody calls Damien a chibi, and he's what does a chibi mean? You know, they explain what chibi means because a lot of people don't know that it means small and like little.
The chibis are coming back hard.
I love
You wait and
chibis.
see.
I've always loved chibis. I'm gonna go ahead and state that for the record.
You draw a lot of chibis.
I draw a
You
lot of chibis.
really do.
They're the cutest.
How about what should we bounce to? How about
Well, let's go to superhero Vertigo.
the one thing about DC that I'm in love with.
Yeah.
Astro City?
I'm in love with the Vertigo line in
Wait.
general.
Wait, oh no, this is the third one.
This is the third one.
Okay, I haven't read the second one. That's what it is. Because I have the first one, I have the third one, I don't have the second one. Okay, the third one is number 3, Astro City, number 3.
So when they picked up Astro City, usually Astro City is these amazing, awesome stories told from different points of view, and it bounces around from one hero to the next. So it's always a constant changing cast and lineup and storytelling style.
Yeah.
First issue out of the gate, they gave us some really great superhero stories. Second and third issue, they go to the idea that all these superhero teams, in order to handle all the different situations around the world, have a call center.
That's awesome.
And the story revolves around a girl who gets a job at one of these call centers that takes the emergency calls and has to decide whether or not it's
right, whether it's a real call or whether
Yeah,
she could send the
contact the
police
police
instead or something. Oh yeah. Oh, it is. Never mind. I take it back. I have the second one. I don't have the third one.
I'll leave that one for you. It's great.
Okay. All right.
So it's just I don't want to give too much away because it's such a great, awesome novel idea and such an awesome
Yeah,
new
it's just
point
not
of
what you would
view.
expect.
No, not at all.
I mean, it was really unexpected. It was really
But still
fun.
stays very much in the vein of Astro City
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
way the comic series has always presented itself.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a great. It's riveting to see it from this normal person's point of view.
Right. And she's like so excited she has this new job, and she thought it was just gonna be a bullshit call center job.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
cold
like a
calling.
temp job.
Yeah.
And then it's like this thing, and she's like helping people, and everyone waits for the call where they get the call, and then
They get to be the hero.
and they get to be the hero and tell the people to go in, they save the day, and then she fucks up and she's like so depressed, and it's like awesome.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. Astro City, man, it's really been. I need to read the original. I haven't read the original stuff yet. I'm kind of a lame-o.
It keeps up with it. It's
I'm
okay.
late to the party. I know.
What else should we talk about?
Okay. Well,
Okay,
whatever
so
we do, we need to speed it along. 'Cause we're already over an hour.
speed
Oh,
it
wow.
up.
Okay.
Let's speed it up to East of West. We'll do some creator-owned stuff.
Okay.
East of West, we touched on this earlier. Hickman, fucking good still. It's so cool.
Again,
it's just,
it doesn't feel like a chore to read the issue when it comes out. The art's been
fucking,
amazing.
You find out that Death and this Shaolin, what's her name? Not Shaolin, but Xiao something. Anyway, it starts with an X. I don't know how to say that
Right.
shit. And they have the baby, and then you find out the baby isn't dead, and then the baby's like the beast of the apocalypse. It's fucking crazy, man. It's really good.
And I do kind of get the same vibe that I did when I read Stephen King. The
Oh yeah, Dark Tower stuff.
Dark Tower stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm really
100%.
excited. Just
It's very Dark Towery. You're
It
right.
is.
I didn't even think of that. And it's that twisted, just
demented.
weird like reality that's just like slightly off from like where what would have happened if we had gone a separate way.
Right.
You know.
So if you feel like we do about Hickman and his Marvel stuff, don't like write him off for his image stuff.
Yeah.
Because the East of West, like I said, whereas Marvel felt like it's a chore whenever the new issue comes out, the image stuff and his creator-owned stuff is so amazing. I look forward
I know.
to it.
Like I said, I look forward to it too.
What else should we do? Oh,
well-
do Ghosted.
Okay, so I was told by Darren to read Ghosted, and I finally caught up, and I read the first and the second issue of Ghosted. By the way, East of West is on number 5. I just remembered
I
that.
remember we have to say that.
Ghosted, though, is this whole... It's very much like a Hell House where you have this weird guy, and he wants you to go into the house and to, find the ghosts and stuff like that. But instead of, like, confirming that there are ghosts and that there is an afterlife, this guy wants you to steal a ghost. So he busts a guy out of a prison who's like the best fucking Ocean's 11 type, thief, and so he's like getting him to go putting a team together of different weird spiritual people. And some of them are like con artists, some of them are skeptics, some of them
Right.
are whatever. Some of them are ghost hunters from like a ghost hunter show.
I
And
think that's such a
they
cool
have
idea.
like 2 weeks or something before this house is torn down to find and capture a ghost, because this house is like the house where tons of people
So
die.
can you capture the ghost? Can you put the team together in time to capture the ghost? Can this actually all work?
Yeah. And it's interesting because, too, you have another character who isn't necessarily telling the truth to the other characters. You have another character who's found something, who hasn't been able to tell the other people yet. It's like
Right.
you have a lot of different ins and outs going on. So I've really enjoyed Ghosted a lot. I think it's
That sounds like a great premise too.
it's really fun.
That's really cool.
Like, it's just been a fun read. It's not depressing. It's not hard to read. It's not, whatever. It's just like kind of a fun ghost stealing
story. Yeah.
I'm into that sort of stuff, I guess.
Okay, where are we? Do I want to talk about Killjoys?
Okay, let
I'm
me tell you.
gonna do a quick overview of what's going on with Killjoys.
I'm out of the Killjoys.
It's I'm on issue 3. It's by Gerard Way, who did Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And also the art's by Becky Cloonan, who's love
really
the
good.
art. I'm loving the art. I also love Gerard Way's dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're this far into the series, because I think this is 3 of 6, it's starting to get frustrating. I'm reading it for the art.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading it for the dialogue. But I'm not even sure if I'm really reading it for the story, because I have no idea where the story's going yet.
I don't either.
And I'm still waiting for that moment, that one key element, that linchpin panel that's going to tie everything together so I know like how it's connected and where it's going to end.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's there yet.
If it's gonna come, if it's ever gonna be
But
there.
I love the team. I think I love the concept. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing between like East of West and Killjoys, where it's like East of West starts out, you really don't know what's going on. It's its own weird world. You find out more as you go along. But I was like okay with it. Whereas Killjoys, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to find out. I'm tired.
I mean, they got lasers and they dress up and they look cool and
there's a
and
side story of
and the bad
two
guy
robot.
is probably based on Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and the sex bots are like in a relationship with each other and trying
Which
to help
I'm
each
more
other
interested
out.
in the sex bots.
Yeah, that's the storyline.
I know, it's like, get rid of this fucking Killjoys bullshit. Like, let's go to the sex bots, but there's not enough sex bots.
And I think the relationship, the sex bot story that I have in the series is what I'm really like. That's what I'm tuning in for.
But again, too, it's like, what does this have to do
But that sounds
with
weird.
anything?
By the way, I know that sounds weird. I'm tuning in for the sex bot story.
I'm tuning in for the sex bots, but what do the sex bots have to do with anything? There's literally nothing to clue you in as to how this story ties in.
How they fit in with any of the other storylines.
Yeah, and you said it's only 6-issue arc?
I think so.
And we're into 3 right now?
I think so.
So it's like, where the fuck? How are they going to tie this up?
Yeah.
You know?
I honestly have no idea.
I know.
Well, that was all the comics.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we are going to Dragon Con, so
Sorry, bitches.
out for the next 3 weeks,
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah.
Except for this podcast is going to be released while we're gone.
Yeah.
We'll probably film something at Dragon Con. What are you looking forward to at Dragon Con?
Well, I'm looking forward to not packing or shipping anything. I'm looking forward
That's
to...
right, because the Kickstarter is almost all but packed up. Only 20 more packages,
something
right?
like that, yeah. Something around there. I'm so excited to just have fun and chill out. And we're not working a booth or anything. We're not behind anywhere. We're just going to go and have fun and go
You're
to
going to be
panels.
convention goers.
We're convention goers. And I'm just so excited about it.
Did I see a really cool cosplay costume packed up, ready to go for it?
We're packing it up. We're packing up old RoboCop. We're taking him on the road. We're taking our show on the road.
The RoboCop costume is pretty awesome.
You know, the only reason we can even do it, too, is because we were lucky enough to get a host hotel from someone who canceled their reservation, so we took their reservation.
Yeah, we didn't know if we were going to be able to go.
Yeah, and the thing is, if I wasn't staying in the hotel, I wouldn't be able to put on the costume. But since, because it's like, you can't walk 3 blocks in that shit. Like, it's like crazy. So we got a host hotel, so it's like, damn it, now
I mean, you could walk 3 blocks dressed as RoboCop.
Yeah,
I mean, you could.
It's also in Atlanta, which is really fucking hot. Especially at the beginning of September.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things.
End
where
of
it's
August.
Like,
August is the hottest month.
Dude, August, September are like
a lot of
the
concrete.
worst.
It just traps all the heat in.
Ugh. And it's humid. And it's cardboard that I'm wearing, and that's not good for the cardboard.
No, you'll sweat
Oh,
right
it's
through
gonna
it.
like stick to you and stuff.
It'll like the cardboard. What happened the other night when we were filming? It was
Well, that was
like
due to the
leg was
humidity outside.
coming
It
apart.
just starts to, the paper just starts to get wet, and the Velcro doesn't stick anymore, and you have to repair it.
It's all weird.
You have to repair this costume
and then
after
it
every time
bonds
we wear
to
it.
you, then you absorb its powers.
Anyway, but let's. Why don't you go ahead and announce what you're going to be doing at Dragon Con? You're going to be doing a panel.
Yeah,
Maybe some people want to attend who happen to be there.
Yeah. I'm doing a panel on Monday. It's in the morning time. I don't exactly.
Monday, the last day.
The last day. It's kind of like, I think I want to say like 10 or 11 or something like that. And it's going to be with Dan Dos Santos, and he is going to be doing a live painting
Dan Dos
demonstration.
Santos, who is a huge artist, illustrator.
Who did the
The My Life as a Redneck Zombie #2.
White Trash Zombie.
White Trash Zombie,
yeah,
sorry.
White Trash Zombie. He's done all the White Trash Zombie stuff. He's like, he's an amazing award-winning fantasy artist, for Christ's sake.
He also did the cover for last year's Dragon Con pamphlet.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, he's like big time.
Well, I knew he was big time.
Yeah.
But
he's big
he's
time.
big time.
Big time.
That's
so
cool.
He's gonna be painting me and asking me. We're gonna be interviewing kind of each other while he's painting me in a demo.
So it's a painting
Are
tutorial.
you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm really hoping that he gives me the painting. But even then, it's kind of like, oh, let me hang up a picture of myself in my house. Like, that's a little weird, but maybe it isn't. I don't know.
What are they going to do with that painting?
I don't know.
What are you going to talk about?
I don't know. I mean,
He's just going to ask you stuff.
yeah.
It's just be a really impromptu panel.
It is. It is.
Maybe even people in the audience could ask you stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
So
cool.
I'm excited. It's my first panel. It's my first panel.
Well, it's not your panel.
Well,
But
my first
panel that you're
co-host,
on.
Co-panel.
Yeah.
Although Kamikaze, I'll be on some panels. So. I'll be
Are you doing Kamikaze this year?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some. I don't know what yet exactly.
Oh, we are?
I'm doing a panel.
You are?
I think you or we are. I don't know.
Dun dun dun!
Maybe you are. I don't
You
know.
might want to tell me about this
Because
panel.
I'm already
Miguel.
making plans to take the weekend off and do Kamikaze.
Oh, good.
Because
Good.
I don't have enough money.
Why
to
don't we
travel,
all do it
but
then? What is it?
let's
What
do
is
it.
it on?
I don't know.
I think we should
talking
just
to the guy. I'm trying to figure it out.
We should just take the table and just set it up out front of Kamikaze.
Yeah.
And we'll just do a panel as people are coming in to the convention.
I think that I can swing something a little fancier these days.
But see, I set
Not
the bar.
much-
I set the
It-
bar
it doesn't have
low.
to
so
be
that I
like
can
a
get
we're
real
gonna be in
laughs
front of the
later on.
bathrooms instead.
Ooh.
So,
Interview people at the
yeah.
urinal.
in the air conditioned bathroom. That's where we'll be.
Well, anyway, we need to wrap this whole episode up.
All
here.
right, we're wrapping it
So
up.
if you're at Dragon Con, come by on Monday at, I don't know, 10 or 11.
10 or 11.
I mean,
Look
that's
on
close
your
to when
thing.
the whole Dragon
Look for
Con ends.
Dando Santos stuff. Look
Yeah.
for his stuff on the app.
There you go.
There's a Dragon Con app. You can find all your shit on there.
Really?
Yeah, it's really helpful.
I'm learning so much stuff about Dragon Con this year. That's amazing.
It's like Christmas.
You need to
Pretty much
come come next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going next year too.
I know. Hopefully I'm going for the rest of my
I've
life.
already started my little putting money away aside every week for San Diego next year. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm actually going to last the entire week, but
It's a lot,
I know.
but it's fun.
I saw what happened to you guys when you came back.
I look like an 80-year-old woman.
I really don't know if I want to go next year or not.
I know. I was trying.
I want to go, but I don't want to get sick.
Like
I was
I
trying
feel,
to
yeah,
warn
I feel like San Diego.
And I don't want it
Comic-Con-
to somehow take, because we lost literally 2 to 3 weeks worth of work getting
Yeah.
done because we went to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
because of con flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Contracts.
going there and then getting sick and then.
How much do those Bubble Boy setups cost?
We need to find out.
Because I
Bubble Boy
think,
setups.
like, if I can just live
Good
in
idea.
the Bubble
Yeah.
Boy bubble and
Yeah.
go to Comic Con.
It'll be
Yeah.
good.
But by the way, you're amongst your people. No one's gonna give you a hard time. being
Yeah,
in the
no
bubble.
one's gonna. No one's
No
gonna
one
be like,
there is gonna get like, oh, look at the sick kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless
no,
a real
you're gonna be
Bubble Boy
fine.
shows up and he's like, "What? You're faking it."
Yeah.
Fraud. Like he's
Fake
discovered
Bubble
me.
Boys are the
Can-
new.
Can you get in a fake Bubble Boy fight? Can you guys try to bonk each other out of the way? Roll each other
Can
down
we make this a
hills?
thing?
Yeah.
Can we trademark this
Let's
right now?
stage it. Let's
Alright.
stage it next year. Well,
Okay, we're seriously
alright.
way over time.
Well,
Whatever.
that's
Well, you guys need
whatever.
extra stuff
Some
anyway, so they're
bonus
gone.
material for you guys today. So, thanks for listening. And
Absolutely.
over and out.
Surf's up.
Heyo.
Hang loose.